Hi guys, it's Summer. Welcome back to my channel. You are here on a very special day today because today is not only part 3 in my Pacific Northwest series, it's also day 1 of Seattle. So Seattle has entered the chat, you guys. This is no longer just a series about Portland because we've been talking about Portland for days now, and now it's time to talk about Seattle. If you've seen my videos before, then you know I love to go eat my way through a new city, and I had so much fun eating my way through Portland. But to be honest, I've been to Portland many times, and Seattle I had only been to once before this, and it was very brief. So this was just a city of new food adventures for me. So I'm really excited to get into it with you guys, and really I don't have much more to say about it. I would say if you haven't yet, you should go back and watch parts 1 and 2, but it's not part 1 and 2 anymore, it's part 3, and it's time to hop right into it and get started. So we woke up in Portland this morning and we were ready to go get some breakfast. We just wanted like a classic diner style breakfast, and it was actually just me and one other friend because basically like one group of friends we were hanging out with in Portland was mostly going home this day, and then we were going to meet some other friends in Seattle, so it was just me and one other friend, and she and I decided we just want a classic easy breakfast where we know exactly what we're getting. We walked over in the rain to Gravy, and this honestly could not have been a more perfect spot to just get a classic diner breakfast. You don't need an explanation for this. You can look at it, you can see what I was eating, you can see that it looks good. It was delicious, you guys. Then after that, we headed over to Pips. I have been wanting to try this place actually for a super long time, and I feel like every time I'm in Portland and I try to go here, they're closed. So thankfully they were open this day, and we were so lost trying to order here because if you haven't seen their menu, it's basically just a million different kinds of like little tiny cinnamon sugar donuts and a million different kinds of chai. So thankfully the person who was working was able to help us make some decisions here. I don't even know what I got, but I know that my chai was like chocolatey and delicious. And as far as donuts, we ended up with the classic cinnamon sugar, banana pudding, Nutella, and salted honey. So these were really good. I think that the best ones were just like the classic ones, but I think that the ones that had the filling in them ended up lasting like more days, staying moist for more days, which makes sense. So I was glad that we kind of got a variety, but I would say if you go and you're getting like a dozen of them, you should eat those classic cinnamon sugar ones first while they're still hot. I was so glad that we stopped here because it was the perfect little road trip snack. Like our whole drive from Portland to Seattle, it was so nice to just munch on little donuts and drink our little chais. And it was just such a cozy vibe, especially because we were driving on a super rainy day. Then once we got to Seattle, we checked into our Airbnb and we headed over to Cornelli. This place, you guys, was so good. The service was so amazing. The vibes were so amazing. It's beautiful in there. The food was delicious. There was absolutely zero misses. So let me just get right into what we got. I started off with an old fashioned, which is my favorite cocktail, and it was so good. It was one of the best old fashions I think I've ever had anywhere. So that's really saying something because I take my old fashioned seriously, okay? And then we also got these Brussels sprouts, and I don't know what was going on with these Brussels sprouts, but I've never had Brussels sprouts like this. These were delicious. There was some kind of like squash puree at the bottom. Whatever was going on was amazing, and this is a place that changes their menu seasonally, and I think it really shows because they use a lot of interesting ingredients. We also got the fungi pizza, the bolognese, and also these little like fried bread pockets that you put some cured meat and ricotta into. I think the meat that it came with was speck maybe. It's like it reminded me of prosciutto. It could be prosciutto, but I think it was speck. So somebody tell me if you're like a meat expert. Maybe I'm a meat expert. If you're a meat expert and you see this, let me know. What kind of meat is that? And it was delicious. Everything was delicious. There was absolutely no misses at Cornelli. I would go back and I would order just as much food because even though it was way too much food, everything was amazing. And also there was 4 of us at this dinner, and every single one of us had a favorite dish, which I feel like is very telling that it wasn't like some things are really good and other things aren't as good, because everything was so amazing that something became someone's favorite dish. Does that make sense? Obviously, I can't say enough good things about Cornelli. I think that this might have ended up being my favorite thing that I ate in Seattle, but we'll have to wait until the final rankings come in. Day 2, we started out at Bonito for a coffee. I had a cafe de olla latte here and I thought it was so good. I also just thought this place was really cute inside. They had like a photo booth and a little shop, and they don't have pastries, or I think she told us that they have pastries seasonally. And it was January on a weekday, so I guess we didn't make it into the season where they have pastries. So we walked over to Sugar Bakery, and I had this delicious breakfast croissant. And honestly, this is another place that I was judging by its cover and thinking that it was not gonna be crazy good. And everything that we tried here actually was really awesome. So that's always nice when you can just like wander in literally anywhere just to the bakery that's right around the corner and have it be so good. Then it was time to knock something off of my bucket list, which is seeing Snoqualmie Falls, which has just always been on my list. I'm so glad I finally got to see this in real life. And I tried this orange cream Popwell soda when I was here. This really just tasted like the orange cream Olipop, but in a cuter can, even more delicious. I could honestly make an entire video about this place and how beautiful it was and driving around different like Twin Peaks filming locations and things like that, but this video is about food, so we're gonna stick to the food. After that, it was time to do what all tourists must do in Seattle, which is walk around Pike Place Market, of course. I feel like there are some really awesome things in Pike Place Market, and there's also maybe some things that are not as good as well. And we started out at Ghost Alley Espresso, which I would say was definitely more of a tourist trap. I genuinely paid $10 for a latte here. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know, it could have been an off day or something, but to me, I just kind of was giving tourist trap. Then we headed over to Beecher's Mac and Cheese to achieve another one of my life's greatest dreams and try Beecher's Mac and Cheese in person. I get the frozen Beecher's Mac and Cheese all the time, and this did taste like the same thing, but a little bit better because they give you extra sauce, and I was so glad we went here. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that this is really overhyped, and I would guess that they're just going at like busier times because I didn't have to wait that long or anything, and this was honestly a really big highlight for me. I also tried, I think it was like a pretzel bread there that I thought was just whatever. So I would just recommend going for the classic mac and cheese. And I got a little stick of this cheese. Hopefully I have a video of it that I can show you because I don't remember what it was, but I do remember liking it. So overall, loved that we got to stop at Beecher's, and then we headed over to Pike Place Chowder, which is another really hyped spot. And this was awesome, you guys. This was one of the best things that I ate on my entire trip. I loved every chowder that I tried here, especially the original just clam chowder. And this is a place that you can do like a chowder flight, and I would recommend doing it if you can, because I got to try a few different chowders just because I was with friends and everyone like ordered different things, but I would not have had as good of an experience if I didn't get to try so many, I think. So I would say if you can order the flight, order the flight. Then we went and got happy hour at Momiji. This place was so good. And honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be so cute in here. It was honestly a vibe. It was very like luxurious feeling. And the happy hour deals were really good as well. I had a lychee martini here, or I might have had a couple lychee martinis here, to be honest, and they were so good. I would definitely go back and get the same exact cocktail because I enjoyed it so much. And we also had short rib, a couple different rolls, we had some chicken here, and also some calamari, which I'm kind of picky about calamari, and I really liked this one, so I feel like that speaks to how actually like fresh and delicious it was. And this was so good. Everything was delicious. There were no misses. The only thing I would say is definitely get a reservation here because we did walk up and we were lucky to get seated, but we did end up in pretty uncomfortable like outside bar seating. And it seems like the inside is really awesome. So I think it's worth like making the reservation ahead of time so that you can get a table and like sit down somewhere comfy and really enjoy the vibes in the inside of the restaurant. All right, you guys, that concludes part 3 of my Eating My Way Through the Northwest series and also part 1 of being in Seattle. I'm so excited to show you guys the rest of the series, and I hope you've been enjoying it so far. I would love if you could send me a message and tell me what looks good to you, what you think I should try, if you've been any of the places that I've been, and where I should travel to next. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.